So the topic for today, as you are seeing here, I am so happy to declare that Safety Catch is accredited officially for delivering the new NEBOSH International Diploma for Occupational Health and Safety Management Professionals. So this is the latest program developed by the NEBOSH, and the courses actually will start running from the 1st of June. Okay, so we are just only giving an introductory, just making you familiar as on what is declared by the NEBOSH, and they have given to us for dissemination. Good. So this is the topic for today, right? And it's about international diploma. Gentlemen, somebody is asking me IG1. It's IDIP, International Diploma. We're not talking about IGC here. We are talking about the international diploma, right? Right. Now, first of all, I'd like to discuss the agenda for today. Firstly, we have an introduction because there are many people who are new, who doesn't know Safety Catch, who doesn't know about me. And we discuss about what does this consist of the new NEBOSH International Diploma, what's there. And of course, the learning outcomes. What are the learning outcomes going to be? And the course details. We will deliberate the course in detail. What are the topics we are going to teach and what you are going to learn? The examination pattern. I know you are much concerned about this particular bullet. Everybody are, inquisitive about, how is going to be the exam and how it's going to be conducted, because we are all, held up at home and the pandemic situation. Yes. So they have come with a new variety of examination pattern. We will be discussing that. Marking scheme, the pass marks, the total marks per unit, and how they are going to grade you, like who is going to, at what marks you are going to get credit, at what marks you will be getting a distinction, and all that we have to see. Then progressing to certifications like IOSH, CMIOSH, CSP, what is the route, how to reach there. Okay. And open book exam versus the closed book exam. What is all about? What is a difference and how we are going to face that? Then the next examination date available. Many of you might be willing to join with us. So you must know when you are going to write the next examination. And the batch details. How and where, when we are going to conduct this program. Okay. Right. So these are the agenda for today. I will not take more than an hour or so. So I will not drag you too much into your time, but I'll try to finish it off as early as possible. So these are the agenda. About this organization, Safety Catch was established in the year 2010. It's almost 11 years. Accredited by major awarding bodies like the NEBOSH, IOSH, British Safety Council, Scaffolding Training Institute, etc., etc. We have trained till today more than 15,000 HSC professionals who are working across the globe. Provided HSC training and consulting services to more than 150 corporate clients spanning across India, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. Yeah, this is what I was telling, that our operations, but due to the pandemic, now it's all limited online and back to base in India. Our proudest moment, hopefully this person will be in this meeting. I always introduce him in every meeting because for Safety Catch as well as for this individual, the proudest moment was when we got the first Indian student as the world topper in NEBOSH IGC in the year 2016-17. Is none other than the Nitin Pavitran. Hopefully he might be also in this meeting. If possible, I will introduce you to him if he is available and is willing to have a discussion. World topper of NEBOSH. And he scored a whopping 92 out of 100 in IGC1. And that was again a milestone. I don't think somebody has crossed that record till today. I don't know actually. But yes, we do. We are proud of Nitin, and we are proud of all our team are proud of this achievement. Our vision to be world's most preferred quality safety training academy. I underline the word quality because I mean it. To enable youth getting skilled and employable. For few people it's upskilling, for people it is new skilling. Various kind of people coming to us from various backgrounds and get themselves qualified, and that is where we are so committed to our profession, because the youth, the people coming to us are seeking for employment, they're seeking for new skills. So we teach them to be professionals. We don't teach them to be just pass and just get certificate. Is to skill the youth, the people who approach us, to give them the skill. That means, which means we are much concentrating on the knowledge part rather than making you pass or getting you just the certification. We are much concentrating on giving you the highest quality knowledge, which is going to be your product on the field when you work, because you people are going to save human lives. That we are very particular on that. To contribute in reducing accident and injury. This is the way we do that, because when our people work and when our people, our students deliver on the job, there are lives getting saved in thousands and thousands. We are so happy when we get a feedback from an organization saying that, oh, the students studied from you, making wonderfully well, they're doing their job perfect. So that is the most appreciation we get from the industry. Our core values are commitment, quality, and discipline. That's why you saw 6 o'clock. We have started this meeting. When we are announced 6 minutes sharp, 6 we started. We have a visible leadership and continual and sustainable growth. We believe in only continual and sustainable growth. We don't believe in shortcuts to success. That's why we don't offer anything free. That's it. Our mission is to help humanity thrive by raising the standards of health, safety, and environmental literacy levels through high standard professional and vocational education, consultancy, and training. We mean it. When we take a class, we means not only me, my whole trainers, when they are conducting a training and when they are taking a class, these words are behind them, that those people who are going to learn from us are actually going to save human lives. So we try to give the maximum, the best quality in ourselves. And that's why all our trainers, we continuously maintain CPD. We are very particular on the CPD, that is continued professional development of all our trainers. They are up to date. I virtually send once at least in 6 months a new book to them to read. And we all meet for continuous development, because what we learn, we transform to our students. If I don't learn, then how I am going to transform the knowledge to our students? So we continually update ourselves and we go behind this mission. Through you, through our students, we execute this mission of saving human lives across the globe. These are our accreditations. We are accredited by NEBOSH, of course, IOSH, British Safety Council, Scaffolding Training Institute, Medic First Aid, MSME, Government of India, and we have done a couple of courses also through them, and still will be doing very soon. You will be seeing some short-term programs also coming up through the MSME, the government certification route for upskilling of the professionals. And we are also ISO 9000 certified. We are just not certified. We follow that principles of 9001, the quality management system. Great clients. And finally, before I come to our core area for today's, to go home safely at the end of working day is a right. It's not a privilege. Everybody should be, very clear on this message wherever you work. So after that, now comes today's core subject. As I told you, I had to introduce safety cares because there are very new people here. not only our students. So the NEBOSH International Diploma for Occupational Health and Safety Management Professionals. Now, one change you can see here, the NEBOSH International Diploma for Occupational Health and Safety Management Professionals, which we call it as IDIP NEBOSH. This is very, prestigious designatory letters which most of the safety professionals would like to have be after their name. Okay, so you have to earn it. Once you complete this program, that is, when you successfully pass this program, you can use this designatory letters IDIP NEBOSH. Okay, perfect. Right. This new NEBOSH diploma, which is going to start on the 1st June of 2021, the coming 1st June, consists of basically 3 units, ID1, ID2, and ID3. Now, why only 3 units? Previously, there was 4 units. The reason is, previously, many of the IGC topics were also included in the IDIP. So now NEBOSH has taken out all these overlapping subjects or overlapping materials, or you can say like elements. So the quantum has become, because NEBOSH expect the people who are doing the international diploma, the NEBOSH expect that they would have already completed the IGC. So there is no need of asking them to again go through the IGC syllabus. So they have removed those syllabus or those area which was overlapping with the previous IGC. So it has become to 3 units. So ID1, the unit ID1 is to know a workplace health and safety principles. It's completely management principles, or you can say safety management principles. What generally if you are done the IGC one or IG one, this is almost like IG one. It's full of management principles, but in a deeper sense. We'll go very in-depth management principles. Then comes so basically this workplace health and safety principles are going to teach you about the management principles, the management systems, procedures. That's why very clearly I paralleled it with the IG1 or the previous IGC1. But here you are going in a very broader area. And then coming to ID2, International Diploma Element 2 is do. What you actually do on site. What you do on site? Controlling workplace health issues. So controlling of the workplace health issues. What are the health issues? A lot of health issues like lung cancer, asbestosis, or lung cancer and mesothelioma, or there are so many other issues, health issues, which are due to the lead poisoning, ergonomic issues. So this unit ID2 is going to concentrate on the health issues which can be there in a workplace, which affect the employees. So how to control them? So focusing on the health issues, and we can call it like occupational health issues. So controlling the workplace health issues, how to control, how to prevent, how to avoid, how to minimize these health issues, that we will be studying in ID2. And in ID3, you will be studying controlling workplace safety issues like fire safety, electrical safety, machinery safety, and all that. So basically, if you have done the IG or IGC, the IG2 or the GC2 syllabus is split into health issues separate and the safety issues separate, and it will come in a broader way at a diploma level, at a level 6. From a level 3, it will be a migration to level 6. So 3 units. Unit 1 is completely management principles. ID2, controlling of workplace health issues. ID3, controlling of workplace safety issues at level 6. That's what you should understand. So 3 units total. That means 3 examinations total. Now, coming to the learning outcome. You might not be getting this very clear. It's very small, but don't worry. Tomorrow, everybody will get the syllabus. All those people who have registered for this program today, you all will be getting a full syllabus. Syllabus means the full details by email, in which this portion also is there, the learning outcome. Here, what you should note is the first 8 learning outcomes. The first 8 learning outcomes are together called the ID1. This is the unit ID1. That means you can see here, you will be able to advise your organization on the type of legislations, legal aspects, like ILO, labor, international labor codes, and all these things. So we will be going very deeper into that. And the non-government bodies which could influence the health and safety. You will be able to promote a positive health and safety culture by gaining commitment and participation from the management, by engaging, supporting, and influencing leaders to change the attitudes and also the behavior of the staff. You will be able to assess, develop, and maintain individual and organizational health and safety competence. You will be able to understand risk management in a very latest risk management principles. You will be able to develop and implement proactive and reactive health and safety monitoring systems, including review and auditing systems. You will be able to continually develop your own professional skills, ethics, and actively influence improvements in health and safety, providing persuasive arguments to workers at all levels. That means your leadership skill is also going to be developed. You will be able to develop a health and safety policy strategy. Here we are not, it's all strategic thinking. You're going to develop policy strategy with within your organization. Okay, and you will be able to manage contractors and supply chains to ensure compliance with health and safety standards at a higher level. So there are so many things. This is only the learning outcomes, but when you go into each of the learning outcomes, it will be divided into elements and elements and elements. So the first 8 learning outcomes together will come as unit 1, ID1, where we will be, teaching you in these hours. For each unit, these hours of tuition will be given to you. And then coming to the learning outcome number 9, you will be able to advise the organization on a range of common workplace health issues, hazards, including how these can be assessed and controlled. So 60 hours of tuition. This is ID1. ID2. I beg my pardon. It's ID2. And then comes the learning outcome number 10. You will be able to advise the organization on a range of common workplace safety issues and hazards, including how these can be assessed as well as controlled. You will have a 54 hours tuition for this, and that is unit ID3. So total, we will be running 185 hours of classes for you. 185 hours. Anybody, whether it is Safety Catch or any organization conducting this course, must teach 185 hours total to complete this course. Okay, so this must be taken care of. If you are getting a tuition, one-to-one coaching of 185 hours, that must be noted, because then only the right kind of knowledge will go into your brain, and that can be reflected into the examination. We, Safety Catch, we provide 185 hours of tuition on the whole subjects of international diploma. No doubt in that. Now, coming to the course details, the qualification deliberately looks at general workplace issues so that this can be applied in the many different sectors in which health and safety professionals may work. That means this qualification is focusing or can be applied on any type of workplace, whether it is oil and gas, whether it is construction, whether it is manufacturing, any type of workplace, the professionals can utilize the knowledge what you are going to study here. On completion of the qualification, you will be able to advise on the types of legislation likely to apply, the relevance of ILO and non-governmental bodies, guidance and possible enforcement actions. You will be able to identify and effectively communicate relevant health and safety information to your clients. You will be able to advise on a range of common workplace health and safety issues, including how these can be assessed, controlled, and monitored. And you will be able to develop a health and safety policy strategy, including proactive safety, corporate social responsibility, and the change management process. You will be able to contribute to a risk management strategy. You will be able to promote a positive health and safety culture. You will be able to develop and audit health and safety management systems. You will be able to maintain individual and organizational health and safety competence. And you will be able to manage contractors and supply chains to ensure compliance with health and safety standards. So these are the broader area where your knowledge is going to be elevated. Now coming to the examination part, which so many of them were pumping with messages and messages and messages. A lot of messages was coming off. Sir, tell about the examination. Tell about the examination. Okay, fine. Now, Unit ID 1. Unit ID 1. No. Workplace health and safety principles. This one examination, but consisting of 4 parts. The examination consists of 4 parts. You can see here part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. So 4 part. Each part consisting of 150 marks. Only 150, not 200. Only 150 marks. That means the first part will be a scenario-based assessment. And it's all online, right? It's all online. Examination is online. Like the IGC, what is going on nowadays. Now, the part 1 is scenario-based. They will be giving you a scenario of an organization. And they will be giving you a specific role. Maybe you are HSC manager of this organization. Now, there are these problems and how you are going to solve it. So it will be like scenario-based questions. There can be 10 questions, 12 questions. Similar to the IGC or the IG1 examination. If somebody has not seen it, you can get the question paper from somebody. It is all available on the media, on the platforms, and you can search for it. So it's like they will begin with a scenario of an organization, that these are the problems in the organizations, these are the pros, these are the cons, and you have a specific role like a safety manager, and you have to comment or how you are going to convince the management to take action. What will be the financial implication of the actions to be taken on your risk assessment? Like that, based on the scenario, you have to frame the answers. That is what is the part 1, and that part 1 will be for 150 marks. Now, coming to part 2, workplace-based task together with some simulations. Like they may ask you to make a risk profiling of your organization. Some task, maybe conduct a risk assessment of your workplace. So based on a workplace, so for that you have to have a workplace, whether you are working in a workplace already or you must be doing some internship, especially if you are a fresher, you are not yet employed, you must have to strive for an internship of 1 or 2 months within an organization, because without an organization ready in front of you, it will be difficult for you to conduct this task. But it's always possible to get an internship. It's nothing. Nowadays, every organization is providing internship, including safety gadgets. We are providing the internship. So it's a platform for you to learn, and many organizations now are providing internships, so you can just join with them. If you're already working, nothing, no problem in that. You will be able to do this. So there will be a task, again for 150 marks, which can be like a risk assessment of the workplace, or it can be like a risk profiling, something like that. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Anybody?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Thank you. Yes, some people says they couldn't hear me. Now, first part is scenario-based questions. Second part is one task will be given to you, conduct a risk assessment or conduct a risk profiling. Again, 150 marks. Now, task 3 is reflective activities. Like we will be teaching you leadership skills like communication skills, controlling skills, managing skills, and your uh, benchmarking of skills. Now, they may ask you like, how, if you are HSC manager, how are you going to use your communication skill to influence the workers? So this is called a reflective activity. Reflective activity means what you have learned from us, how you will apply on job. This is called a reflection. So they will specifically ask you, okay, suppose you are a HSC manager of a large petrochemical company or maybe a construction site. You have learned leadership in your IDIP. How are you going to implement that? You have to reflect on that knowledge, how you are going to implement that on the site. So some reflective activities. Reflective means what you have learned from us, how you will implement it on site. You have to deliberate your ideas. Okay, I'm going to conduct a seminar once in a month. I will be conducting some competitions for involvement of the people. Or maybe I will bring out the group mailing systems, etc. So how, whatever knowledge you gained from our teaching, how are you going to apply on site? That kind of question will come in part 3, again for 150 marks. Then part 4 will be a research topic will be given to you, like they will ask you specifically to analyze the safety culture of your organization with certain evidences. Like you may have to give some questionnaires. This we will be teaching you all this. When you hear it for the first time, oh, what is reflective statement or what is going to be workplace based task? Because we will be giving you these tasks, and we will be definitely coaching you how to answer to this kind of scenarios and this kind of situations. Not that you are straight away going to go and sit for the examination. You will be trained on this. You will be simulated on this. Like we will be giving you mock examinations, assignments to coach you onto this. So the research topic again will be based on, you have to collect some evidences, some inputs like attendance registers, feedbacks from the workers. Then you may have to prepare a questionnaire and you have to supply to the workers and get the feedback, and you have to analyze what is going to be the what is the safety culture of the organization, and you may be doing an analysis. It's a kind of a mini research, not a big research like for a PhD or something. It's a mini research project, 150 marks. Okay, so we will be guiding you on that. We'll be teaching you how these activities to be conducted, because you know, you are not going to do it on the first day of the class. You gradually you learn these things over a period of time. As you have seen, 185 hours of tuition is going to come into your brain, and then you finish. So once you complete these 4 parts, your ID1 exam is over. How much time they are telling you can finish it in 60 hours. Don't confuse, I'll tell you how they are going to conduct it. Because you will be given some weeks time to conduct it. So just note down, if you are noting down, please note down that ID1 exam, bracket you write 60 hours approx. Means to complete this exam, you may have to sit for not continuous. One day 3 hours or 4 hours, next day 5 hours. Now Friday you are off, sit for 7 hours. Like that you will be completing. You will be given weeks time to complete this. So don't worry, I'll come to that later. As of now, you just note down. If you are noting down, ID1, Part 1, scenario-based question, 150 marks. Part 2, workplace-based task, together with some simulations, 150 marks. Part 3, reflective activities, 150 mark. Part 4, small research topic, 150 mark. So total 600 marks. Your ID1 exam is over. Now coming to ID2. ID2, only one question paper, scenario based with 150 marks. 150 marks, one question paper, scenario based, like how the IG1 exam is going on now. Here it is 150 into 4 parts, that is equal to total 600 marks. 600 marks is for the ID1. Coming to ID3 is also same scenario based, one single question paper, 150 marks. So only the ID1 is little bit typical with 4 parts, but otherwise the ID2 and ID3 are single question paper with 150 marks, scenario based questions, for which you are expected to spend 40 hours for ID2, 40 hours for ID3, which means NEBOSH expects you to complete this if you sit for 40 hours, not continuous. You can break, like as I said, because they are giving long time. One has got exam is one, but 4 part. It's almost like 4 part in the question paper. First part, scenario based questions, 150 marks. Second part, workplace based task, like a risk assessment of the workplace, 150 marks. Part 3, reflective activities, like how are you going to execute this X skill in the workplace. You have to reflect, you have to explain, 150 marks. And a small research topic, just analyze the safety climate of the organization or analyze the safety culture of the organization, 150 mark. So ID1 total 150 into 4, that is 600 marks. ID2 only one question paper, scenario based, for 150 marks. ID2 and ID3 also only one question paper, scenario based questions, 150 marks. And now let us see how much time or how the percentage is taken. But before that, I would like to, okay, anyway, that will come later. Now, how they take the marks, how they, for example, ID1, most of you will be confused in ID1. ID1 part 1, okay. In the ID1 part 1, if you have scored 90, oh my God, hopefully maybe safety gate student. Part 1, you scored 90. Part 2, you scored 120. My God. You scored 120. This is all out of 150, okay? Out of 150. Part 3, you scored 75. Part 4, you scored, suppose, 80. So total, that means, first of all, please understand, you have to score above 50%. But that can be adjusted later. Okay, let us now come to this total. Then I will explain to you the notional. So you have 90 marks in part 1. You have 120 marks in part 2. You have 75 marks in part 3. You have 80 marks in part 4. So total becomes 365. This percentage out of 600, 365 you have scored out of 600, which becomes 61% out of 600. Okay. So now this is 61%. So this is above 50%. So part 1 is pass. So overall, you have to cross 50% mark. 50% is the passing percentage. Like IGC 45, For IDIP, it is 50. Okay. Now, how they will convert this? Now, the whole mark, the whole 600 will be converted to 150 as ID1 mark. ID1. How they do it? Just average. Okay. Now you see this 61% is what you got in the all these four parts. So 61% of 150 becomes 91. This will be your aggregate ID1 mark. The average. It's basic simple as average. So from 600, so now you know you brought your ID1, the total 600 marks has become 91 out of 150 because you scored overall 61%. Then your ID2, out of 150, suppose you scored 100 marks. So it will be taken as a percentage, 67%. In ID3, suppose you scored 120. And I told you these all scenario based questions only, like the recent IG1. So if you have scored 120 out of 150, that is 80%. Now all these marks will be converted out of 100. So this percentage will be taken as 61 out of 100, 67 out of 100, 80 out of 100. So total out of 300. So you got 208 out of 300. This is how the marking scheme is kept. If you have any doubt, you note down. At the end, there is a Q&A session. You can ask me that time. We can clear your doubts because in between we cannot. So just note down your doubts and the Q&A session will be there for you. So hopefully you got an idea, clear amount of idea here, how they are converting the 600 into 150. Further 150 is converted to 100. So finally it comes all our IGC, the old IGC 300 out of it comes to. And then it is compared with this. So there will be a comparison like this. If you can see, if after a certain period of time in your profession, you have to, have certain level of certification. The reason is you have to maintain something called CPD. These certifications are some of the people think that these are like ornaments. You wear on the bangles or the chain and you look very beautiful. No, they are not ornamental. When you say that I am a graduate member of IOSH, you are expected to maintain your continuous professional development. You call it CPD, which means you have to be attending seminars, you have to be attending some classes, you have to be continuously updating your professional knowledge. Then only this grad IOSH is given to you or kept along with you. So after a certain period of time, you need something with your name which can explain your professional competency. So you go for a grad IOSH. So after achieving this NEBOSH International Diploma, you are eligible to get grad IOSH, which means you can, along with your name, you can have designated as IDIP NEBOSH, grad IOSH. Later on, after you become a grad IOSH, you can climb up the ladder, think about becoming a chartered member. So work for some time on the CPD. So I will just explain to you in detail how from grad you move to chartered and you move to CSP and all that. But here in this seminar, I can tell you only in nutshell because there's not much time and we have to wind up very soon. But I'm just informing you here because during our actual session, actual class, I will be deeply going into this area and guiding you through this, which way you have to achieve this grad IOSH and MIRSM from the International Institute of Risk and Safety Management, or going to CMIOSH, going to CSP, and all that we can discuss in detail later. But here, so after a certain point of time, the advantage of the NEBOSH International Diploma is you will be admitted to grad IOSH. You can start your CPD and progress to chartered membership, CMIOSH. You will be admitted to the full membership of the IIRSM, which is the International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. And you can directly appear for the CSP without ASP. So you don't need to, because if you are a normal professional, you have to first clear ASP exam, then only, which you have to prepare as like CSP. and then you have to clear CSP exam. That means to reach CSP exam, you have to clear ASP exam first and then clear the CSP exam. But you have NEBOSH International Diploma, you can directly go and apply for CSP and you will be accepted directly for CSP. So these are the advantages. Yeah, CSP definitely has an examination. Now, if you are afraid of examinations, I will tell you Grad IOSH doesn't have any examination. Grad IOSH is given the moment you pass IDIP NEBOSH, you are conferred with Grad IOSH. MIRism, no examination. But from grad, when you upgrade to chartered membership, there will be examination. Same open book online examination, but in a very detailed way. There is examination for, okay. And then CSP, definitely there is an examination, which is the highly competitive. And there are other qualificational and experience requirements, which I already have explained, or if you want, we have to have a separate class on that for eligibility. But here I am mentioning you, if you pass IDIP NEBOSH, you can directly apply for CSP. That is the advantage on this. So these are the membership categories which you will be eligible to apply for. And further study, suppose some young people will be here who want to do level 7 masters. You are eligible for doing MSc in Occupational Health, Safety and Environment Management. You are eligible for MSc in Occupational Health and Safety Management. So CSP, I will come to that. I will come to your query. MSc in Environmental Management. Some of you are specific questions on, you're asking specific questions on CSP eligibility. Please keep it for Q&A session. I will answer to that because here the subject is IDIP NEBOSH. Then we come to CSP later. So all this, and if you want to do research, you can do M research. So all this, you are eligible. The whole 1.5 years investment you are saving by doing this IDIP NEBOSH. Suppose you are planning to for PR in some abroad in the European countries. So the route for PR, suppose like Australia or Ireland or UK or Canada for that matter, you know that to get a direct PR is difficult, but to become a student and go and do the course there and get a PR is easy route. So suppose you want to do an MS from the UK university, the MS there suppose you want to upgrade yourself into MS in Occupational Health and Safety Management. Now this is 3 years program if you normally do it, but as you hold the NEBOSH IDIP, you will get a lateral entry. That means 1.5 year is you are saving. The remaining 1.5 year you need to continue and you can finish it off the MS and then you can go apply for PR and all these things. So people who want to do research, same way, there is a M research course the NEBOSH is conducting in collaboration with University of Hull. You want to participate in that, you are eligible for that. Then these are some of the universities which are accepting this NEBOSH IDIP course for further education for level 7 MS. So some of the universities which I could collect, and there are few other universities also. So you have to, for IDIP NEBOSH, there is no such qualification requirement, but completing IGC is desirable. It's desirable completing IGC. At least it's not necessary that you have to be pass, but it is desired that you have completed at least the IGC level, because we are going to pitch the class. No problem if you have done in 2014 or 15, doesn't matter. You should have undergone the IGC training properly, attending the classes. In this open book exam format, actually you are going to do research. You are going to bring a lot of information. You have to visit ILO website. You will be visiting HSC UK website to drag information. In this way, you are exposed to various sources of information across the globe. So it is going to really, really enhance your knowledge from a mere book to the whole world of information. So in that way, it is a huge advantage for us when you say it's a open book examination. So please don't have this idea that some of the people think that open book means open the book, see the answer and type the answer. That is, anybody can do it. So that is not. Because the way the questions are framed, you have to make the answer yourself, but for that you should have the clear knowledge. That is why the class is very, very important. How the trainers are going to coach you, how the trainers are going to pump you with information and knowledge, that is very, very decisive in this kind of examination. It's not that self-study will not do. Even in previous version of the IDIP, there are so many accustomed with all the sources of information from where you are going to get this information during the examination. Then you sit for the examination. So don't think open book means just open the book and write the answer. No. The open book examination can test the same learning outcomes and assessment criteria as invigilated paper-based exams. So there is no doubt the value that the closed book exam has more value than the open book exam, nothing like that, because we are experiencing the open book to be much, much challenging and much, much experiencing than the closed book. Closed book was limiting our knowledge to the book, but open book is expanding our knowledge to the horizon, to the whole world. You will be searching everywhere for information, bringing the information, collecting the information, making it as answer. So this is going to give you a broader knowledge than the closed book exam. And the value will be same. There's no much difference in that. However, unlike a closed book assessment, you don't need to remember anything. You don't need to remember. You have everything open and you can refer anything. This is the only advantage of an open book examination. Then the open book assessment will begin by giving you a scenario. I told you this already, and you have asked some questions. The scenario may go on to outline a developing situation, some safety intervention, and you will be given some questions on that. You are the safety officer. How are you going to tackle this issue? So that's why I said you don't find the answers in the book, but you will find the resources. You will find the basic, the informations you get. But how you develop it to an answer, that needs knowledge. Only when you have the knowledge, you can develop it into an answer. So all the questions will be based on the learning outcomes only. It will not be from outside. And you do not worry about that because the learning outcomes given, you must familiarize with all the keywords. We will be giving you study materials also. It's not that there is no book. There are books from which you can, familiarize with the keywords, the key terminologies and scenario and all that. And we focus mostly on the scenarios. Where do I complete my exam? At your home. Sitting at your office or your home, you are going to write the exam. Because in this pandemic time and in future also, all these examinations are going to be open book. You don't worry about that. I don't think that closed book will come back again in any near future. I don't see possibility because even industry is happy with the people who have passed the open book exam. So it will continue. So you sit at your home and then you sit at your office and you do the examination at your own time, but within the time given to you. So if you can create a space within your home or at your office, you sit there, and how much time is available, I will tell you. Does this type of assessment devalue my qualification? Not at all. Not at all, because NEBOSH has done a lot of homework to see that the standards are maintained, the quality is maintained. In no way, even if those people who has passed the IGC in the old pattern of closed book, if you see the question paper of the open book, you will also agree, yes, this test the same standard and same level, because when you see an open book question paper and when you read the questions, you will not find the answers exactly in the book. You have to develop the answers based on the scenario for which the guy has to have the knowledge. It's not that everybody are passing in the open book exam. Not at all. The same percentage is maintained. The same percentage of students who passed for closed book, almost a similar percentage only is passing the open book also. So please don't think that it is devaluing the qualification. Not at all. The certificate is same. Nowhere in the certificate it is written it is open book, it was closed book. No. It's all, the certificate is same, the value is same, the standard is same, the everything is, only the procedure is different. Okay, not the standard. And finally, there will be a closing interview. The closing interview does not give any mark. One of the learning partner staff, one of our trainer, one of our staff will have a small interview with you for 10-15 minutes, testing your identity, asking you maybe some question from your own answers. Suppose you have written that I will be doing as a safety manager, I will implement this in my, so how you will implement? Maybe they will ask you, how, what is your idea? So something to test that, yes, you are the person who has completed the answers, or you have clear knowledge on the sector. There is no specific mark for the closing interview. It is just to test you. It to test the say who is the person who has attended the exam. Your ID proof, the identity will be checked, and 2 or 3 questions based on your, like in interviews, no, you give biodata, you give the CV, based what you written in the CV, they ask some question on that, and they see how you are responding to that. The same technique is used here. Whatever you have written the answers, 2 or 3 points will be picked up and asked to you, please explain. So once you have written, you are going to tell why you have written that, and that's it. Closing interview is over. It is not an assessment. It is not marked. Closing interview has no marks. There is nothing to do with pass and fail. Yes, coming to the exam dates. Many people have started already messaging me, sir, when is the exam? Gentlemen, the next exam, the ID1, is coming on 8 September 2021. This is the only exam date available. There is no on-demand, which means we cannot set exam dates. The exam dates are set by NEBOSH. So if you join in June, if you join for the June batch, you can write your ID1 on 8 September. You will be given 6 weeks time for completing this exam. That means the question paper will come on 8 September. You try to answer this whenever your spare time, like one day you got 2 hours, next day you got 5 hours, next day you got 2 hours, but overall you are expected to spend 40 hours, but you are given 6 weeks. So only on 20th October, you are going to upload this answer sheet to the NEBOSH examination portal. So before this exam, you will be given a username and password and a link. You click the link, you reach the NEBOSH exam portal, you put your password, you enter, you upload your answer sheet and come out. So for that, they are giving you 6 weeks time. Okay. So in these 6 weeks, you have to complete this ID1. That is why, because it's 600 marks. So 4 parts. And before 20th October, you have to upload your answer sheet. Now coming to ID2, the exam date is 10th November. You are given 4 weeks to complete, and the submission will be 8th December. Coming to ID3, the exam date is 13 Jan. You are given 4 weeks to complete the exam, and you will upload before 10th February, which means the next exam will be after March, April, or May 2022 only. That means if you miss this admission for this June batch, if you miss the admission for the June batch, June of 2021, then your next admission slot or your next admission can be after March, April of 2022 only. Then you have to wait for again 6-7 months for the examination to complete. So overall, if you see, this takes 6 to 7 months to complete the process. It takes 6 to 7 months. Within 6-7 months, that means when you start your class in June, you will finish by 10th February. Your course will be over. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. 8 months. Maximum 8 months. 6, 7 to 8 months, your course will be over. So please keep it in mind. You need 6 to 8 months to complete this course. So if you wait, if you join in June, you complete by Feb 2022. If you wait, you have to join a batch which will start after Feb 2022. That means again 8 months after that, you have to write the examination, completing the examination. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Any doubt, please note down. So from safety catch, as usual, each day of the class, suppose today I have conducted 6 hours class. On whatever I taught you, I will be giving you a scenario. I will also give one question based on the scenario to familiarize you with this procedure. So each and every class will have an assignment. Okay. And you know, we have kept the batch weekly batches. That means 1 week, only 1 day class, either Friday class or Sunday class. So if you want to join Friday batch, you can join Friday batch. That means classes will be only on Fridays. So this Friday, if I have taught you one lesson, I'll be giving you a scenario. I'll be giving you a question. Before next class, you have to complete the question, write the answer, give it back to me, and we will evaluate and tell you whether the answer was correct or it was to the point, it was to the requirement or not. So this way, you will be coached by, before sitting the examination, you will know, we will be giving you short research project, we will be giving you reflective activities, we will be giving you task-based scenarios, which means we will ensure that you have already gone through the system. You have already gone through this procedure of answering before you actually sit for the final exam. This is what we are doing for the IGC people also. So all our IGC people are given daily assignments, are given mock examinations, then they go and finally sit for the final exam. So they are familiar. You don't need to ask anybody, what is this, what is that, what is that. They know because they already have done it once or twice. So that way, we have a formative assessment system assessing you each class, and we have a summative assessment scheme by which we will be giving you a mock exam also. Same how the NEBOSH is giving you the question paper, we will be giving you the mock exam, and we will be evaluating and giving you the feedback of this mock exam. So before you sit for the final exam, already you have written some examinations and you know how the questions are going to come and you know how the answers are to be framed, and you are discuss each other. We can clarify our doubts, and it is all explained to you like how I am explaining now, and you feel like you are sitting in the classroom rather than a e-learning where it's all mechanical, right? So virtual classrooms, this is what we are providing. It's not e-learning. Why I told versus e-learning? E-learning means you will get only one username and password. You are logging in. There will be videos. You will be watching the videos. There will be some PDF files which you will be reading. Maybe some. But here, it is live class. The whole 185 hours of class will be live, like how we are now live, and we will be interacting with each other, and we will be discussing with each other. Even we will have group discussions that time. It's all possible in a virtual platform, not on a e-learning. So that's it for the recording part. And should you have any other query, this is my WhatsApp number. You can note down this WhatsApp number. This is our website. Don't go away. We have certain things extra, but which I want to stop the recording, and then I will be showing that things, and we will have a Q&A session also. So for all of you who don't know my WhatsApp number and who don't know our Safety Catch website, you can please note it down. I will just stop the recording.